Hey everybody, and welcome to our first look of the Farm Production Pack DLC available to Farming Simulator 22 on April 30th, 2024. Now this pack is listed at $7.99 US, and this video's goal is to show the pack off in as complete detail as possible. That way you can make as an informed decision as possible on if you want to use your hard-earned cash in order to pick this up. Now, this is also going to be split up into 4 different segments. The first segment, we're going to take a look at the actual production part of the farm production pack. The second segment is going to be looking at idle income with respect to the solar panels and windmill generator. And then we have the third section, which is going to look at sell points and buy points included in the pack. And then the fourth and final section is going to look at the 8 placeable sheds that are also included with this pack. Now, we're going to lead off here with the Lely Sphere, because this is, in my opinion, the thing that is going to sell this pack. The Lely Sphere is a production that you can add to your cow pen or your cow pasture, and it's going to take the ammonia that is going to be derived from the liquid manure that comes out of your cows, and it's going to convert that ammonia through a process into liquid fertilizer. And this is a real-life process that really happens. And the way it's going to work is we need to buy a pallet of sulfuric acid at the shop. We need to then bring that over here to this cage and load that into the production. And then it is going to basically mix the ammonia gas that our cows have produced via the liquid manure through a water shower with this sulfuric acid, and as a byproduct we're going to be getting liquid fertilizer. So you can see we have sulfuric acid as an input and liquid fertilizer as an output. Let's go ahead and activate that, and while that's running for a brief little bit, let's go ahead and take a look in the shop as to where we're going to find these items. Under production factories, we have the washing drum, which we see running over here. And the washing drum, while it shows it takes potatoes, sugar beets, and water and makes washed sugar beets, washed potatoes, it also is going to accept carrots, parsnips, and red beets. That's going to be $85,000. It freely rotates 360 degrees on center. Then we also have the Cleaner Tiger. This is going to be a sugar beet cutter, a placeable sugar beet cutter that is also going to clean the sugar beets and extract some stones. So we're going to get stones that are going to come out the bottom, and then the sugar beet cut is going to come out the side conveyor belt. $85,000 for this one as well. And then we have the Lely Sphere. It is going to be $80,000, and you can place this next to an animal pasture area. You see we already have a manure handling system right next over here, so we cannot put a second one down. We will have to have, you see it says place next to animal husbandry, so we will have to have it within a certain distance of the animal husbandry, very, very similar to slurry storage or a manure heap. Now that a little time has actually passed, we actually have 58 liters of liquid fertilizer. We're going to come over here and we're going to then be able to draw out our liquid fertilizer with a sprayer or a storage tank. And that is the Lely Sphere system. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our mods and DLCs, and I'll show you the farm production pack here. $800 for a pallet of sulfuric acid, 2,000 liters, and this production is going to hold 500 liters at a time. Now let's go over here and take a look a little bit at the washing drum. And I will give you a little bit of a disclaimer. I have a pre-release copy, obviously, of this, since we are putting this video out Friday morning when the embargo drops. And as a result, we are looking at a pre-release version. This washing drum is currently not working correctly. I have entered, and as I understand, several other people have entered a bug report, and hopefully, if all goes well, by the time this is released on April 30th, everything will be resolved. But the way this works is we're going to be bringing potatoes, sugar beet, carrots, red beets, or parsnips, and water. And then what we're going to get is washed potatoes, sugar beet, carrot, red beet, and parsnips out. And we're going to be able to sell those products at a better price. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Go to our prices screen. And we have prices, for example, potatoes right here. We have our sugar beets right there. We have then our carrots, parsnips, and red beets. But then we have our washed parsnips, red beets, carrots, sugar beets, and potatoes. Now you can see here we are on Elm Creek and Goldcrest Valley. The train sell point is going to be configured for all of these. When we get to section 3 of this video and we start talking about the purchase points and the sell points that are included in the pack, those particular buildings will also accept the washed vegetable products. So we will have other ways of selling those products. And as I would expect, mod maps in the future hopefully are going to incorporate that as well. We're going to bring our water over here with a water trailer, and we're going to be able to deposit water. And then we have 2 ways of getting our root crops into this facility. We can use a belt similar to this setup here in order to feed into the washer, or we can use a bucket and simply dump into the wash plant. Now, the current bug that we are experiencing with this plant is if you have one of the 2 fill types, either your root crop or water, you're not going to be able to add the other. A little counterproductive for sure. So if we put even a little bit of water in, we're not going to be able to add our root crop. If we add any amount of our root crop in, we're not going to be able to add any water. But that, I am sure, will be resolved before the final release of this pack. That way I cannot exactly show you how this is working specifically because, as I said, right now the wash roller is currently defunct. But again, we are talking about a pre-release version. Now let me go ahead and show you here our sugar beet cutter. Pretty straightforward. We're going to need a bucket or a belt, and we're going to deposit our sugar beet cut into the top here. And then we're going to simply activate it. And once we activate it, we are now getting our sugar beet cut over here. And slowly, we will have a little bit of stones that will pile up underneath this, so we can then collect those stones and obviously do whatever we want with those. We're just going to come over here and enable or disable the sugar beet cutter. You can see we already have a little bit of pile of stone. You may need a smaller bucket in order to get that, or some sort of belt. There we go. And we got our stone. And those are basically the 3 productions that are a part of the farm production pack, with, in my opinion, the Lely Sphere being the golden child of those 3 productions. Now let's talk about all the different ways that we can earn passive income with the farm production pack. We have solar panels, and kind of the claim with these solar panels is that they will get dirty over time, and therefore we'll need a solar panel cleaning robot, which is available right here. Let's go ahead and get him out and about washing those panels. And then we have a smaller wooden windmill. Now overall, from a financial standpoint, the windmills, I still do not know if they are really financially viable or not. I did some testing. I put a windmill down here and I just skipped forward a month, skipped forward another month, and here we are. So in 3 months with one windmill on easy economy, okay, I earned $1,157, $1,043, and $1,266 with one windmill per month. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what that windmill cost me. Production, generators, $75,000. That's what it cost me to put this windmill down. Did I earn $6,840 per month? No, I did not. In fact, I earned a variable amount per month. Recently, I learned that apparently the amount of money you earn off these windmills is dynamic based on the amount of wind that actually is happening on your map. So it's kind of an interesting thing. 360-degree rotation on this, so we can put another one down. You know, we can put a third down, fourth down, fifth down, whatever. And there we go. Now, the solar panels kind of surprised me because of how they function. These are basically the same as our orchards. We're going to draw the solar panels out. We can rotate it and we can put them out. And they work just like the grapes and olives. So we're going to click, we're going to drag it over there, and we're going to release. And there we go. We can do that again. Click and drag. We can make this as long as we want. We can somewhat put them as close together, but they do get a little grabby. We can turn snapping off. That way we can have a better free range of where we place these, so we can place them as wide as we want. Now I did a little bit of math and I placed a single panel down. 3 panels, a single section. $4,813 is what a single 3-panel section cost. I fast forwarded several months, and each month I basically earned $785. So it seems like a single panel or a 3-panel setup is going to earn you about $785 per 3-panel setup per month. Now, what is going to be the payoff on that? Well, let's see. It's going to cost me how much money? $4,813 to put down a single 3-panel setup. Oddly enough, this says it cost me $1,450. So that must be for a single panel, but I can only put down, at a minimum, a 3-panel get up. But we will be getting a decent amount of money back per month. So how many months is it going to take you to earn back your money? I'll let you all figure that out. And then we have our cleaning robot. We're going to find the cleaning robot under buildings and then tools. $10,200. And typically we would place it near the robot or near the solar panels. So let's go ahead and just put another one down here. And again, to activate, we're going to come up to it and we're going to hit R, and it's going to go off and start cleaning the panels. Now, over time, these panels will get dirty, and I would suspect as the panels get dirty, your income per month is going to drop off until you go over here and activate the solar panel sweeper in order to just kind of walk around your panels and clean them. Let's move on and talk about sell points and buy points that are included with the farm production pack. We have 3 market stalls. We have a vegetable market stall. We have a dairy market stall, as well as a bakery market stall. We also have 3 vending stations in the big vending machine, the multi-vending machine, which we can actually go into. And then we have the small vending machine. We also have a farmer's market. Now, this is a buy point. This is not going to be a sell point. We're going to be able to come here and buy various products. We're going to demonstrate what we can buy here in a little bit. We also have a grocery, supermarket, if you will. And then we have in behind it the large distribution center. But this is not a warehouse. This is technically one large sell point. We have a sell trigger over here on the side. Any product we bring over here will be sold automatically. And then we have a kind of a sophisticated delivery sell point that we're going to use around front, and we are going to demonstrate how this works a little bit later in the segment. But first, let's talk about these new sell points because, well, they've got a little bit of a trick up their sleeve. If we come up here to any of these sell points, you're going to see in the lower right, we now have a little pop-up. The Fresh Farmers Supermarket is currently accepting, and I say currently accepting on a reason because what they accept today might not be the same as what they accept tomorrow. In fact, let me go ahead and show you what the supermarket was accepting in in August. So yesterday, the supermarket was offering a completely different set of products to buy as opposed to today. Now today, they're going to be buying cereal, sugar, potatoes, tomatoes, grape juice, sunflower oil, milk, grapes, strawberries, and cakes. And beside each of those, we have a quantity. So they're going to accept 1,069 liters of cereal. After they've bought 1,069 liters worth of cereal, they are not going to accept any more. At least not today. But they might tomorrow. We'll have to come back and check. For example, the bakery market stall is going to accept flour and eggs. 1,853 liters of flour, 1,784 liters worth of eggs. Well, I just conveniently happen to have 2,800 liters worth of eggs and 2,000 liters worth of flour here. So let's just go ahead and, well, sell these eggs and flour and see what we get at this bakery market stall. Now, I have to say, I feel from a realism standpoint, I really like the direction that this is going with respect to these sell points. The idea that a building, a grocery store, anything will basically accept unlimited amount of quantity of product in the base game, it really is a little bit unrealistic. Let's take a look here in the upper right. We can see now we have satisfied 100% of our demand, and we've earned $5,822. If we try to sell any more eggs from or to this stall, they will not be accepted, at least not today. Let's take our 2,000 liters worth of flour and do the same thing. And we've now satisfied 100% of the demand for the flour, and we have 2,928 liters worth of money to show for it. We come over here now to our bakery stall. You're going to see that we've now satisfied 100% of our flour and egg delivery. Again, this stall will no longer accept flour or eggs, at least not today. Tomorrow, that might be a completely different story. So the dairy stall is going to accept eggs. Let's go ahead and deliver the rest of the eggs to the dairy stall. And there was a little bit of confusion on what this all meant by daily demand. So now we've satisfied over 50% of our daily demand for the dairy stall. We've delivered 1,015 liters of a total of 1,419 liters. 71% been delivered of this demand. If we bring more eggs, we'll be able to deliver more eggs up until we reach that 1,419 liters. So as I was saying, I think this is really an interesting path to take with respect to sell points, because the idea of being able to deliver unlimited amount of product to any one location is a little bit unrealistic, and I kind of like the idea of having to somewhat manage the demand of the various businesses in the area with the product that we can deliver. So over here at the farmers market, this is actually going to allow us to buy lime, pig food, seed, and road salt, as well as solid fertilizer. So again, lime, pig feed, seed, road salt, and solid fertilizer. Before we go and talk about the distribution center, though, let's look at where all these are going to be in the build mode. We're going to go to production and sell points. And we're going to have our bakery market stall for $2,000. This will rotate freely 360 degrees on center. And we can see the scrolling list of fill types over here that the bakery market stall could accept, but there's no guarantee on any given month of what they are accepting of this list. We have the vegetable market stall, again, $2,000, freely rotates on center, and they have a completely different list of products that they could accept. The bakery stall, again, $2,000, and freely rotates on center, and here they're going to accept, potentially, bread, eggs, butter, sugar, or cheese. Our supermarket does not rotate 360 degrees on center. It rotates in the 90-degree orientations. So we'll have to pay attention about how we deliver to that. And you can see that it delivers to a rear delivery gate. We have a small vending machine for $12,000. Freely rotates on center. Then we have the big vending machine, $12,000. Again, freely rotates. And the multi-vending machine, $16,500. And it, again, freely rotates. We have the farmer's market, which does also freely rotate on center. And then lastly, we have the distribution center that is a sell point, not a storage warehouse, and it rotates 90 degrees, just like the grocery store. Let's go ahead and kind of dive into the distribution center here. We have a very large trigger here in front, right in front of these 8 semi-unloading bays. So we have bays 3 through 8 here at the lower level. Then we have a little bit of a ramp, and we have bays 1 and 2. And we can go inside. And inside we have lots of racks with some product, not a whole lot of product, but we do have a little bit of product scattered here and there. We also have these 2 bays here on the end, and these are going to be our receiving bays for the sell point itself. So if all we want to do is sell product, we can just bring the product to the side. I've got here a pallet of fabric. We'll bring it into the trigger, and it's just going to auto sell like we would expect any sell point to work. But like I said, this building has a little bit of a trick up its sleeve. So let's come over here and come out this person door. And we're going to come down here to this forklift icon. And it's going to say hit R to start delivery of pallets by forklift. Now, if you do recall, we had 3 pallets over there on the other end of the loading dock. Before you do this, you want to have your product presented here in the trigger. If that's bringing it on a flatbed and backing it up to one of these loading dock bays, if it's putting it over there on the ramp, whatever, it needs to be within this trigger area before we hit R. Do you want to deliver pallets to the assigned places? Yes or no? Okay, we're just going to click no and just show you what it's going to do. It's going to stop. It's going to end it. R, yes. All right, now, well, that wasn't there a little bit ago. We have 5 minutes. Let's better get going. We got 5 minutes and 45 seconds to deliver 3 pallets to 3 different locations in this warehouse. So there's one drop-off point. And it looks like that's where we want to drop off. Let's go and open our bays here. So I liken this to be like a little bit of a mini game in the game. We're down to 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Let's get our cereal and get it delivered to the proper location in the warehouse. Now, the amount of time that you have to deliver your product is going to vary based on the number of pallets and quite possibly where you have to deliver it. Okay, it's close enough. All right, that one has been delivered. Now we need to, well, deliver our second pallet over there. Good grief. And that's going to be our pallet of, I'm guessing, butter. I'm hoping. Or chocolate. So this operates a lot different than how I perceived this working. I kind of thought this was going to be a warehouse, a place where you would store product and then basically come and send product off. But this is basically an interactive sell point. Put that on the rack. All right, it went away, so it must have been right. Three minutes and 30 seconds left. Let's go get our bread. I'm looking around for our location for the bread. It must be around the corner. Let's see if it's over here. No. Well, this is not a good thing. Oh my gosh, it's all the way down there. Now, I will admit, I did try this earlier, and the bread was being delivered around the corner here. So it does appear that possibly the locations that these pallets need to be delivered to is somewhat selected at random. And as soon as we deliver this, we're going to be kicked out. And now we've sold $16,600 worth of product. So it's a little mini game within the game. If we don't have any pallets here and we hit R, it's going to say there's no pallets to deliver. Try again next time. So that is basically the sell points and buy point that is a part of the farm production pack. Then we have the fourth and final segment here of the farm production pack coverage. Is going to be the 8 additional sheds that we get included with the pack. Now, before we go and walk through all of these sheds, let's take a look at them in the shop. First shed we're going to talk about is the vehicle storage shed. It's going to be this one right here. And this shed will freely rotate 360 degrees on center, and it's going to cost $145,000 to buy. Now, in the blog post, it mentioned that these sheds were configurable. What we can do is we can change the color of all of these various sheds. For this particular shed, we're only going to be changing the bottom, as you can see there. The next shed we're going to take a look at is going to be the open front shed for $32,500. It is going to freely rotate 360 degrees once again on center. And again, we can change the color of this shed, as you can see here. Third shed is going to be the bulk storage shed, and it is going to have 4 storage bays for root crops or other bulk items. Those do have collisions on them, so you will be able to store your potatoes, sugar beet, carrots, parsnips, red beets. You can put hay, straw in here, and you're not going to have an issue with it bleeding out of the edge. Again, you can also change the color on all of these sheds. Let me just see how that works on this particular building. $165,000 to buy. Then we have the root crop storage shed. And that's going to be located over here. It's going to kind of be a combination of this shed and this shed right here. It's going to rotate 90 degrees. Typically sheds with collisions on them for things like bales or loose product are going to have 90-degree rotation. And again, it does have color changing. $165,000 to buy. We have the large vehicle storage shed. It's going to be located right here. $195,000 to buy. It is also going to be rotating every 90 degrees. Under silos, we have the vehicle and box storage shed. It's going to be located right here. It's going to hold 250 bales or pallets, as well as vehicles. Again, we can change the colors with M and N. And then lastly, we have the open front shed that is also going to be holding 250 bales. And again, we can change our colors. But we have one more shed to talk about. That's going to be here under tools, and that is the big vehicle workshop. That is the shed here with the 3 skylights. It rotates 360 degrees on center. $274,500 to buy. We have a nice neon sign here. And we can change the color as well with M and N. And now that we've run through all of the various sheds in the shop, let's go ahead and take a look at each one of these. So this particular shed has one roll down door. Then we turn the lights on with R. This one we're going to be also able to turn the lights on with an R. Here we have our root crop storage shed. So in here we can store vehicles or implements. Then over here we have 4 areas where we can place our red beets, sugar beets, carrots, parsnips, hay, and straw. Here we have one of our bale storage sheds, 250. It's going to be a combination bale storage shed. And implement storage. $250 bales and pallets in there as well. Large machine storage shed. And then we do have one area where we can tip product into. This is the root crop storage shed. And we have 2 different sections here, left and right, for storing a lot of product. And then lastly, we have the kind of the contractor shed with those 3 skylights. And we do have a maintenance trigger in this shed. And while we do not have actual trigger markers showing you where that is, it's basically this entire area here. So if you're basically inside the shed, you're going to have the ability to be maintained by making use of the maintenance trigger there. So guys, that is the coverage that we have here of the farm machinery pack. First thing we looked at was the productions aspect. Then we looked into the idle income, the passive income aspect, with the solar panels and the windmills. We took a look at the various sell points and buy points that are included with this pack. And then lastly, we took a look at the new sheds that are going to come with this pack. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide. Do you feel that this pack is worth the price? Hopefully, we were able to give you a good rundown, and you're going to be able to make an informed decision on your own as to if you should go ahead and pick this up. It is still available for pre-order until April 29th, as it releases on April 30th. You can save $1 if you go ahead and pick it up on pre-order, or just wait till it releases. There is no cutoff they'll be available for sale for the foreseeable future. And until next time, happy farming.